Hey guys, last video, I promise. You've made it through two. Those ones were a lot longer. I'm going to hopefully make this one a little bit shorter and get right to the point. So we're in the database. Okay, maybe you found an article that is actually one you want to use in your research. So you've looked at the full text, you've got that, you've determined it's an empirically based article, and you are ready to use it for the research article brief. So what do you need to do then, outside of actually completing the research article brief? Well, for the remainder of the embedded librarian assignment, you've got to cite it in APA style. Seems really easy because the databases actually provide a cite feature right over here on the right hand side. So of course, unlike you, I'm going to use an easy way if I can. So I'm going to go ahead and click on cite, and that's going to pop up a bunch of reference list examples. So you can see here that there is APA, that's what we'll be using for this class. And just so you know, for other classes, we've got MLA, we've got Chicago Manual Style. Hopefully the most popular ones are in here and your instructor wouldn't ask you for anything outside of, I don't think, APA, Chicago, and MLA. But for the social sciences, many times APA is the choice. So I would go ahead, right, seems real easy, and copy that and just paste it in a Word doc. Right? Or in this case, because I ask you to post a citation for your item on the discussion board, you would just go ahead, right, Control V it in, okay, which seems all well and good until I say to you, unfortunately, these citations usually aren't 100%, okay? And that's the downfall of using the database citations. And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna warn you right now that Mr. Utech really wants APA to be right, and so do I. So for this assignment, you're not going to be able to just copy and paste. You're going to be able to copy and paste it, and then you're going to have to correct it. So at this point, you're maybe asking yourself, well, how in the world would I know how to correct this? Right? So if I am back, I don't need to be in the database anymore. I'm going to go ahead and close out my citations. But if I'm back on the research guide, right, using the tabs at the top, right, we've been through what scholarly articles are, keywords, actually using the databases, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Citing Journal Articles. What I've got going on this page is basically just a down and dirty guide for you to use to help you cite. Okay. The introduction is here, okay, and I've linked out here to our general style guide. Okay. This is our university APA guide. Okay. So if you need to cite other things for other classes, you can always come to this APA guide. But for this assignment, you are mostly interested in citing articles. So I've got, and I know this looks like a bunch of gobbledygook on this page, but I've got a bunch of examples for you. So in this case, I have scholarly journal article with volume and issue number included, scholarly journal article with only the volume number included, and an item not available in print. Please, please, please note, if you've used a library database to locate your item, which you should be doing in most cases, you don't use this citation example. Okay, this is only if you just found something on the free web. Okay, the library databases we pay a lot of money for. The majority of things there have appeared in print, and it's just replicating it in electronic form. So you're going to be using probably 9 times out of 10, you guys, either the scholarly journal article with volume and issue or scholarly journal article with only a volume. So let's talk about that very briefly. Okay, on some citations, here's the one that I copied and pasted in. Right, you would only have a volume number available to you. That's 49 right here in this citation example. Then in parentheses here, that is an issue number. If you've got an issue number, great, go ahead and include it. Right? That's why I have with volume and issue number here. If your citation copies over and you've only got a volume number, that's okay. That means you do not have a little number here in parentheses. Okay, that's fine. Then you're just going to go ahead and come down to only the volume number. Okay. Then I've got what the basic format is, and I've got an example. And then very important, because I will ask you to go back and make corrections, and I've written out the information here, you need to pay attention to the actual formatting. Okay? So the very first thing I would do if I was looking at the citation that I came in on my Word doc, is I would look at my author's names. Okay, so I see a last name, an initial, a last name, initials, ampersand, a last name, and initials. So I need to determine, is that right? So I would come over here and I look at this example. Last name, initials, ampersand, last name, initials. That actually looks really good to me. I just want to make sure this seems to appear that there's a comma after every single name. Last name. There's commas after every single last name there and after the first initials. So that actually looks really good. So great, you don't have to worry about retyping that. Then I move on to the year. Okay, here it's in parentheses with a period after it. So I'm looking at the example. It says year in parentheses, period after it. More information about publication year down here. Many times that will be correct, or you might have to change the author information because maybe it includes the author's first name. Where it usually gets dicey with article citations is right here in the title of the article. And I can see right away, because I do APA a lot, that this is wrong. Notice that this is all caps. Okay. Well, article titles, as I note down here, title of an article, you capitalize only the first word of a subtitle, and proper nouns. So I would need to absolutely correct that. Only the first word and first word of a subtitle, which I don't see a subtitle here, and proper nouns, and there's no proper noun. So in this case, only the word effect would be capitalized. And I don't mean the whole word, right? I mean the first letter. So I would just change that. Right? And I would just continue on and just put those all lowercase. Right? Then I would move on to checking my journal title, the volume number, the issue number, and the page numbers. And honestly, that's it. That's all you need. So use the notes down here to guide you. Notice too, it's got this DOI thing at the end. You don't need to worry about that. So take it out. Then one last time, compare your citation. Obviously, I would still need to make some corrections here. Against the example, checking the notes to make sure you are good on the rules, and then go ahead and post it up on the discussion board. And that's it. So bottom line, absolutely use the citation features in the databases, but copy and paste it and then make corrections, because 9 times out of 10, corrections are going to be needed. All right. That's it, guys. You made it through. So you'll be able to finish the embedded librarian assignment, and then you'll be able to move on into the research article brief, knowing that you have already got a really good article to be successful. All right.